The Phantom of Blackwood Hall. Blackwood Hall stood like a sentinel in the middle of the sprawling estate, its Gothic architecture imposing against the backdrop of a darkening sky. Rumors of its haunting had circulated for generations, and though many had tried to uncover its secrets, none had succeeded. It was said that the hall was cursed, and that those who dared enter never came back the same. Tonight, however, three friends, driven by curiosity and the thrill of the unknown, were determined to face whatever lay within. Emily, Alex, and Jack had grown up hearing tales of Blackwood Hall from their grandparents. Stories of ghostly apparitions, mysterious whispers, and shadows that moved on their own had both terrified and fascinated them. Now in their early 20s, they had decided to explore the hall themselves, armed with flashlights, a digital recorder, and a video camera. As they approached the grand, wrought iron gates, a chill ran down Emily's spine. She hesitated, but Alex, ever the skeptic, pushed them open with a creak that echoed through the silence. Jack, the tech enthusiast of the group, recorded the moment with his camera, capturing the ancient structure looming ahead, its windows like dark, soulless eyes. The trio made their way up the overgrown path to the front door. Alex turned the knob, and it opened with surprising ease. They stepped inside, their flashlights cutting through the thick darkness. Dust motes danced in the beams of light, and the air was heavy with the scent of decay. "Let's split up," Alex suggested, his voice barely above a whisper. "We'll cover more ground that way." Emily and Jack exchanged uneasy glances but nodded. Emily took the east wing, Jack the west, and Alex the upstairs. They agreed to meet back in the grand foyer in an hour. Emily moved cautiously through the dimly lit corridors of the east wing, her flashlight casting eerie shadows on the walls. She came across a library, the shelves lined with dusty, leather-bound books. A sense of foreboding filled the air, but curiosity got the better of her. She reached for a book, its title barely legible, The History of Blackwood Hall. As she opened it, a slip of paper fell out, landing at her feet. She picked it up and read, "To those who dare to uncover the truth, beware. The hall remembers, and it does not forgive." Asterisk. Emily shuddered and quickly closed the book, placing it back on the shelf. She left the library, her unease growing with every step. Meanwhile, Jack explored the west wing, his camera capturing the decaying grandeur of the hall. He found himself in what appeared to be a ballroom, the once magnificent chandeliers now covered in cobwebs. As he panned his camera around, he noticed a figure standing in the corner of the room. He froze, heart pounding, and slowly turned the flashlight in that direction. There was nothing there. Shaking off the feeling of being watched, Jack continued filming. But the sense of unease persisted, and he couldn't shake the feeling that something was following him. He heard a faint whisper, so quiet it was almost imperceptible. He strained to listen, but the whispering stopped abruptly, leaving only silence. Upstairs, Alex found himself in a long corridor lined with portraits. The faces of the Blackwood family stared down at him, their eyes seemingly following his every move. He scoffed at the idea of ghosts but couldn't deny the oppressive atmosphere. At the end of the corridor, he discovered a door slightly ajar. Pushing it open, he entered a bedroom, its furnishings covered in white sheets. As he explored the room, he found an old journal on the nightstand. Opening it, he read the entries of a young woman named Eliza Blackwood. The last entry was particularly unsettling. "I hear them calling me from the walls. They say I must join them. I am afraid, but I cannot resist. Tonight, I will become one with the hall." Asterisk. A sudden crash from downstairs jolted Alex from his reading. He hurried back to the foyer, where he found Emily and Jack already waiting, their faces pale. "What happened?" Emily asked, her voice trembling. "I don't know," Alex replied. "But I think we should leave. Now." Just as they turned to go, the front door slammed shut with a deafening bang. The air grew cold, and a sense of dread filled the room. The walls seemed to close in, and the whispering started again, louder this time, surrounding them. "Run!" Jack shouted, but the doors wouldn't budge. They were trapped. The whispering grew louder, more insistent. The trio backed into the center of the room, their flashlights flickering. Shadows danced on the walls, forming shapes that seemed almost human. The temperature dropped further, their breath visible in the air. A figure materialized in front of them, translucent and ethereal. It was Eliza Blackwood, her eyes filled with sorrow and desperation. "Help me," she whispered, her voice echoing in the room. "Release me from this curse." Emily, mustering all her courage, stepped forward. "How can we help you?" she asked, her voice steady despite her fear. Eliza pointed to the journal Alex still held. "The truth must be revealed. The hall is a prison for souls like mine. Free us, and the curse will be lifted." Before they could ask how, Eliza vanished, leaving them in the oppressive silence. Emily took the journal and began to read aloud, recounting Eliza's tragic story. She was a young woman accused of witchcraft by her own family, who had locked her away in the hall to keep their secret hidden. Her spirit, along with countless others, had been trapped ever since. As Emily finished the story, the hall began to tremble. The whispering turned into cries of anguish, and the shadows on the walls grew more distinct. The trio huddled together, unsure of what would happen next. Suddenly, the front door flew open, and a blinding light filled the room. The cries ceased, replaced by a calm silence. The oppressive atmosphere lifted, and the temperature returned to normal. They stepped outside, the night air refreshing after the stifling interior of the hall. Turning back, they saw the once menacing structure now looked peaceful, almost serene. The curse had been lifted. Emily, Alex, and Jack left Blackwood Hall, vowing never to return. They had faced the unknown and survived, but the experience had changed them forever. The hall's dark secrets had been revealed, and its restless spirits finally laid to rest. Yet, as they walked away, Emily couldn't shake the feeling that some secrets were better left buried.